Absolute disaster for the modern audience. The audience that does not exist. The audience that they want to create. But here, hey, we're gonna look at this. Also, please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. Here we go. What would it be? What would it be? Let's see.
So as you probably know, Bungie recently laid off a ton of people, including a lot of modern audience devs. I talked about
Good. Very good. But then again, they also closed they're officially essentially shutting down support for Destiny 2, so there's that. Absolute Warframe victory, by the way. And well, this is not surprising. Oh, we also had layoffs from Xbox. We have plenty of layoffs everywhere. Seems like the games industry is slowly collapsing, right? We have Xbox and Sony shooting themselves in the face the entire time currently, and Steam and Nintendo are like looking it up disgusted and like, what's going on here?
this in a pretty recent video, a number of days ago, which takes us to this developer who apparently worked at Bungie for about 3 years, including working on Marathon, and talked about how they were apparently one of the people that got laid off. They got mixed reception to this post, some people saying they were sorry to hear what happened, others posting things like the Pepe put fries in the bag meme. But then they decided to hyper focus on the negative responses, making a little bit of a compilation of sorts of some of those responses.
Being a trans game dev in 2020. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? The fact that you see yourself as a trans game dev and not just a game dev makes me already think, like, assume what you worked at in this company, which makes me believe you were not exactly a loss. Anyway, there's some meteorite scams that are fake meteorites that they're selling. Most of the meteorite scams got arrested. It's just no rock from Earth. But isn't technically... Fun fact. Here's a little fun fact. Wood is the rarest, one of the rarest materials in the universe. If aliens come here, the first thing they're gonna look at is our trees because of how rare wood is.
And captioning that as being a trans game dev in 2026 be like, showing, as mentioned, the compilation of some responses and including a picture of themselves for some reason. I don't know what the reason for that is. Is it like a main character syndrome thing or something? I'm not sure. And here's a little sample of some of the responses they put together in the...
Oh, understandable. 100%. 100%. What were they before they transitioned to game dev? A man. A male game dev. Whatever. Something like that. I don't know. How do you become a trans game dev? How does this work?
The aforementioned compilation, some responses like DI higher, RIP, won't be missed, lol. You're part of the reason Destiny died, go woke, go broke, and deserved, showing a number of Bungie's virtue signals. I'm not sure why anyone would even get mad at pointing out that Bungie virtue signals either. Like, why would you want to defend a corporation's rainbow capitalism like that? But the dev wasn't done there. Or should I say ex-dev, actually? I'm not sure. But anyways, they said this. I know a lot of these are bots, but remember to please support your fellow queer/POC game devs, especially in this climate. Being publicly a minority on the internet can be rather difficult at times, but I think it's important to stay visible.
And spoiler alert, who's making it difficult to be a minority on the internet? The minorities! The minorities are making it difficult. Oh no! It's so difficult being a minority. Well, you are making it harder yourself. You are the minority first and then the game dev. How about this? Instead of being minority something game dev, how about you're first a game dev? That would actually be better. But the reality is these people aren't even game devs. A lot of the people working at these companies aren't game devs. That would probably also explain all the bugs and instability and bad performance.
As much as feels safe, you gotta love when couch activists act like they speak on behalf of all minorities, like they are the arbiter of minorities. And it's like, dude, a lot of minorities hate posts like that. Here's an example. Dude says, I'm gay. It doesn't mean I'll subscribe to this tribal idiocy. Bungie deserved to fail for not making their customers happy. I don't care who screws who. It's retarded. Only thing I want is for them to be good at their job. Yeah, well, to people like that, it's, you know, asking too much right there. They not only do they want to tell you who they want to screw. They also don't want to be good at their job. So, double L. But then the ex-Bungie employee got completely ratioed.
Oh, this dude is just a. This dude is literally just. This dude is literally just a concept artist. That's all. You know the department that stole from fan art from Marathon's design? Oh wow. That means this dude is literally just. Your job is pointless. It will be taking your job. That's crazy. Are we that hot alien from Halo? Calm down. Also, isn't that guy male? Moving on.
By this response that quote tweeted them and said, this person was a concept artist. The department that stole from fan art for Marathon's design. Now, of course, that person might not have been involved with all that. They may have had nothing to do with it, just happened to be from the same department. But nevertheless, crazy response. And a little bit of context here for anyone not familiar. Marathon developer Bungie has been accused of and is now admitted to stealing artwork used in the current build of Marathon from an artist who first published the work in 2017. The artist named Anti-Real. And so Bungie claimed that this was only one person that did it, and the rest of the department, they claimed to have not been involved. They didn't.
Well, we investigated our own. We investigated our own company and found nothing wrong. Classic. Sorry, but like if you're like check for yourself, right, and then say nothing wrong happened, it was just one person. I feel like it's always weird to say that. Oh, we investigated the incident and found nothing wrong, or just this was wrong, right? I don't like that. I always feel like that third party should do this, and not the same company, because you could just be lying, right? In fact, this kind of happened with a TCG Pocket as well, where art was essentially just taken like a fan art, just literally taken, and then put into the game.
Know anything about this? Look, I don't trust these corpos one bit, but that's what they say. And the irony is palpable. You got Bungie, giant corporation, now less giant because they laid a bunch of people off, but I digress. They virtue signal, pretending to be so wonderful, make a bunch of DEI hires, and that's what happens. They end up with Marathon and how that's going, and stolen art from an independent artist, and that is the latest. Thank you for tuning in.
Anyway, well, from that point onward, we can just realize that I'm assuming, and that's probably, well, I'm assuming, right, that usually when these layoffs happen, it's probably non-important people. And if you lead first, I can tell that you're not an important person at a company if you lead first with what you identify as. You should also, that means he's not even a game dev, right? He's an artist. You weren't developing on the game. You didn't write a single piece of code. You probably didn't even make. What? You are not the game dev. You are literally just the concept artist, and that's it. I just realized that now. This thing's calling himself a game dev, but he's actually just a concept artist. Wonderful. Great, fantastic.